Most people lose years of their lives waiting to feel ready. They wait for confidence, perfect timing, better conditions, more motivation, or a guarantee that their effort will work. That mindset destroys momentum before momentum even begins. The people who rise fast in life understand one thing. Action creates clarity. You do not think your way into confidence. You move your way into it. Massive action is not about being reckless. It is about refusing to stay motionless. Every day you delay, someone less talented but more decisive moves ahead of you. The world rewards speed, adaptability, and consistency. The person who acts immediately gains experience faster, learns faster, improves faster, and ultimately wins faster. The small things are where this mindset is built. Massive success is never created in giant moments alone. It is built through tiny decisions repeated with intensity. Waking up when you said you would. Finishing tasks even when your mood changes. Making the extra call. Studying for another hour. Going to the gym when excuses feel convincing. Responding immediately instead of procrastinating. These actions seem small individually, but together they create a powerful identity. Most people underestimate the power of momentum. One completed task creates energy for the next task. One disciplined morning changes the entire day. One productive day builds confidence for the week. Massive action compounds. Success is rarely one giant breakthrough. It is hundreds of small victories stacked on top of each other without interruption. To master this, stop negotiating with yourself. The moment you start debating whether you feel like doing something, you lose energy. Decision drains power. Create standards that remove negotiation completely. If you said you will train, train. If you plan to work, work. If you promised yourself discipline, follow through immediately. Your brain must learn that your words are commands, not suggestions. Action also destroys fear. Fear survives in stillness. The longer you wait, the larger the problem becomes in your mind. But when you move, your brain shifts into problem-solving mode. Even imperfect action weakens anxiety because progress creates certainty. People who stay trapped in overthinking often believe they need more knowledge, but what they really need is movement. Another critical principle is speed of recovery. Everyone loses momentum sometimes. Everyone has bad days, distractions, setbacks, and moments of weakness. The difference between winners and average people is recovery time. Average people fall off for weeks. Strong people reset immediately. They do not waste energy feeling guilty. They return to action fast. This is why emotional control matters. If your emotions control your behavior, your consistency will collapse. Discipline means acting according to standards instead of feelings. Your mood cannot become the leader of your life. Some days you will feel powerful, some days you will feel exhausted. The mission stays the same. Action must continue regardless. You must also develop urgency. Time is moving whether you act or not. Every hour wasted is an hour your future competition is using to improve. Successful people treat time like something valuable and limited. They move quickly because they understand delay is expensive. Slow action creates slow results. Fast execution creates opportunities. One of the biggest mistakes people make is focusing only on huge goals while ignoring daily systems. Big goals are useless without aggressive daily execution. Stop obsessing over where you want to be in 5 years while failing to control today. Dominate today completely. Win the morning, win the workout, win the work session, win the conversation, win the habits. Small wins build unstoppable confidence. Massive action also requires intensity. Do not approach your goals casually and expect extraordinary results. Attack your work with focus and presence. Eliminate distractions while working. Give full energy to the task in front of you. Half effort produces frustration because it creates weak progress. Full commitment creates momentum. Your environment matters too. If you surround yourself with lazy people, procrastinators, complainers, and excuse makers, your standards will slowly drop. Energy spreads. Stay close to people who execute quickly, think bigger, and hold themselves accountable. Being around disciplined individuals forces you to raise your own level. Most importantly, stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some days it appears, some days it disappears. Winners build habits strong enough to survive without motivation. They train themselves to act automatically. The goal is to become the kind of person who executes no matter what. At the end of the day, success moves toward people who move aggressively toward it. Massive action separates dreamers from achievers. It creates skill, confidence, momentum, discipline, and opportunity. The small things you repeat daily eventually become your identity. And once disciplined action becomes your identity, success stops feeling impossible. It becomes inevitable. Most people fail long before failure actually happens. They lose in their mind first. Doubt weakens action, hesitation kills momentum, and fear destroys consistency. The mind always moves in the direction of the strongest belief. If you constantly question yourself, your actions become weak and uncertain. But when you train your mind to operate with certainty, your energy changes, your behavior changes, and your results begin to change rapidly. Certainty is not pretending problems do not exist. It is developing the belief that no matter what happens, you will adapt, improve, and keep moving forward. That mindset creates power. When you believe you will find a way, your brain begins searching for solutions instead of excuses. The first step is controlling your focus. Your mind cannot stay powerful if you constantly feed it negativity, comparison, fear, and distraction. Whatever you focus on grows emotionally stronger. If you focus on obstacles, your motivation weakens. If you focus on progress, opportunity, and growth, your confidence increases. Strong people train themselves to direct their attention deliberately, instead of allowing the environment to control their mindset. This is why small daily mental habits matter. The way you speak to yourself matters. The words you repeat daily become commands to your nervous system. If you constantly say, "I'm tired, I'm behind, I can't do this," or "nothing works for me," your brain begins acting accordingly. But when you repeatedly speak with certainty, your mind slowly adapts to that identity. One weak language with strong language. Instead of saying, "I'll try," say, "I will." Instead of saying, "I hope things improve," say, "I'll make things improve." The words may seem small, but repeated language shapes emotional patterns over time. Another critical factor is physical state. Your psychology changes based on how you move your body. Slouched posture, low energy, poor sleep, junk food, and inactivity create weak emotional states. Confidence is difficult to maintain when your body feels exhausted and undisciplined. Strong posture, movement, exercise, controlled breathing, and physical energy directly influence mental certainty. That is why successful people often create rituals before important work. They do not wait to feel confident naturally. They create confidence intentionally. They move with energy, organize their environment, focus their breathing, and prepare their mind before taking action. Your state is trainable. You must also stop attaching your identity to temporary failures. One mistake does not define you. One rejection does not define you. One bad week does not erase your potential. Weak minds interpret setbacks as proof they should quit. Strong minds interpret setbacks as feedback and adjustment. Certainty grows when you stop seeing challenges as personal attacks and start seeing them as part of the process. Another way to strengthen certainty is through evidence. Confidence becomes stronger when you keep promises to yourself consistently. Every small action you complete sends a message to your brain: I follow through. This is why mastering small habits matters so much. Finishing workouts, waking up on time, studying daily, keeping your word, and staying disciplined in small situations gradually build internal trust. Most people are waiting for confidence before they act. But confidence is created after repeated action, not before it. Every completed task becomes proof that you are capable. Every disciplined decision strengthens your self-image. Over time, your mind begins expecting success instead of fearing failure. Protecting your environment is equally important. If you spend time around negative people, complainers, and individuals who constantly doubt themselves, uncertainty spreads into your thinking. Human beings absorb emotional patterns from their surroundings. Stay close to people who think bigger, act decisively, and maintain high standards. Confidence is contagious when you are surrounded by disciplined energy. You must also eliminate constant comparison. Comparing your beginning to someone else's peak destroys certainty. Focus on your own progress. The goal is not to move at everyone else's pace. The goal is to improve daily and maintain momentum. Many people become mentally weak because they spend more time watching others succeed than building their own success. Another powerful principle is visualization. Your brain responds strongly to repeated mental pictures. If you constantly imagine failure, embarrassment, and disappointment, your nervous system reacts with fear. But if you repeatedly visualize yourself executing confidently, solving problems, and succeeding under pressure, your brain begins treating those outcomes as familiar instead of threatening. Mental conditioning also requires emotional discipline. There will be days when you feel uncertain, frustrated, or discouraged. Those moments are normal. The key is refusing to let temporary emotions control permanent decisions. Strong people continue acting even when emotions fluctuate. They trust their standards more than their feelings. At the deepest level, certainty comes from identity. When you truly believe you are disciplined, resilient, adaptable, and capable, your actions naturally rise to match that belief. Your external life eventually reflects your internal standards. The mind is like a muscle. If you train it daily with focus, discipline, strong language, emotional control, and consistent action, certainty becomes natural. And once certainty becomes natural, hesitation disappears. You stop wasting energy doubting yourself and start directing that energy toward execution, growth, and achievement. Most people want extraordinary results while living with ordinary discipline. They chase motivation, shortcuts, and big opportunities, yet completely ignore the small habits that actually create success. The truth is simple. Your life is controlled by the little things you repeat daily. Small actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they shape your identity, your standards, and your future. The people who rise fastest are usually not the most talented. They are the ones willing to master the details everyone else overlooks. They understand that greatness is often hidden inside boring repetition, consistency, preparation, and discipline. Most people ignore the basics because the basics are not exciting. Waking up on time is not exciting. Organizing your workspace is not exciting. Finishing tasks immediately is not exciting. Practicing communication skills is not exciting. Staying consistent with workouts, reading, planning, saving money, and controlling distractions does not feel dramatic. But these small actions separate powerful people from average people over the long term. Your future is built through repeated standards. If you repeatedly tolerate laziness, distraction, excuses, and inconsistency, your results slowly decline. But if you repeatedly maintain discipline in small moments, your confidence and momentum begin to grow automatically. One of the most ignored skills is focus. Most people destroy their productivity by constantly dividing their attention. They check their phone every few minutes, switch tasks constantly, and allow distractions to control their day. Deep focus has become rare, which makes it extremely valuable. If you can train yourself to concentrate fully on one task without interruption, your productivity immediately separates from the average person. Protect your attention aggressively. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Remove distractions while working. Create periods of uninterrupted concentration. Even 1 hour of intense focused work can outperform an entire day of distracted effort. Another ignored skill is preparation. Weak people react to life emotionally because they are unprepared. Strong people reduce stress by preparing in advance. They plan their day, organize priorities, anticipate problems, and create systems that keep them moving efficiently. Preparation creates confidence because it reduces chaos. Small preparation habits save enormous amounts of energy. Preparing clothes the night before, organizing your workspace, scheduling priorities, planning workouts, reviewing goals daily, and maintaining order in your environment all strengthen discipline. Disorder creates mental fatigue. Organization creates clarity. Communication is another small thing that changes everything. The way you speak influences opportunities, relationships, leadership, and influence. Most people never practice communication intentionally. They speak carelessly, avoid eye contact, lack confidence, and fail to listen effectively. But strong communicators create trust and authority naturally. Practice speaking clearly and directly. Eliminate weak language. Learn to listen carefully instead of waiting to speak. Improve your posture, tone, and energy during conversations. Tiny improvements in communication can completely change how people respond to you. Your physical habits matter more than most people realize. Energy is an advantage. If your body feels weak, tired, and unhealthy, your focus and discipline suffer. Exercise, sleep, hydration, nutrition, and movement are not optional if you want high performance. Small physical habits repeated daily determine how much energy you bring into your work and goals. Many people ignore consistency because they underestimate compound growth. They want immediate transformation, so they quit when progress feels slow. But success compounds quietly. One workout will not transform your body. One productive day will not build a business. One good conversation will not build confidence. But repeated disciplined actions over months and years create massive change. The problem is that most people stop too early. They become emotional when results are delayed. Mastering small things requires patience and long-term thinking. You must trust the process enough to continue even when rewards are invisible. Another ignored principle is emotional control. Many people allow frustration, stress, or temporary emotions to destroy their habits. They work only when they feel motivated. But real discipline means maintaining standards regardless of mood. Your feelings cannot become your leader. If you only perform when conditions are perfect, your progress will always remain unstable. Strong people also understand the importance of keeping promises to themselves. Every time you say you will do something and fail to follow through, you weaken your self-trust. But every completed promise strengthens your identity. Even small promises matter. Waking up when planned, finishing tasks on time, and following through consistently build internal confidence. Time management is another area people ignore until life becomes overwhelming. Successful people value time because they understand life is limited. They avoid wasting hours on meaningless distractions endless scrolling, gossip, and unnecessary drama. They direct their energy toward growth, learning, execution, and recovery. Most importantly, mastering small things creates personal standards. Once discipline becomes part of your identity, success no longer feels forced. You begin operating differently automatically. You become someone who follows through, stays focused, prepares properly, controls emotions, and executes consistently. That identity changes everything. Big achievements are usually the result of invisible habits. Nobody applauded at the beginning. The quiet discipline behind closed doors eventually produces visible results in public. While most people search for breakthroughs, powerful people master the basics repeatedly until excellence becomes normal. In the end, the small things are never actually small. They are the foundation of everything.